Welcome in, everybody, to Fantasy Pros MLB. This is Leading Off Live, brought to you by Bet365. Bet $5, get 150 in bonus bets when you sign up for Bet365 with that promo code Leading Off. You can remember that. Do you remember me? It's Joey P. That's the Welsh, the Peanuts, the Cracker Jacks in the chat. We got day baseball today. We got prospecting with the Welsh today. We've got a lot of fun things to do, but Welsh, we got to start off with something. We drag ourselves when things are bad, but when things are good, you celebrate. And I want to celebrate 9-0 yesterday on the bets. If you follow me on Betting Pros, a 9-0 day, pretty good. I told everybody I'm all in on Juan Soto, and the Juan was indeed just that yesterday. It was a beautiful day to go out and have a little Soto action.
One data meta. Da, 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 da.
It made me dance like this.
One data me. I actually was watching that live. I told you I was clicking over to games and stuff like that. I had a decent day. I was like a 2-unit day. And I click over and I watch Anthony Volpe ground out. Immediately when I clicked on, Juan Soto comes up, first pitch, bam, dead center. And the center fielder lost his glove over the wall. And when he hit that, I'm like, Joe's going to get his bet. Joe's going to get his bet. And then he got the homer, and I was like, oh, my God, Joe got the home run, too. This is ridiculous. It's good. Those are the ups and downs of this entire process. Fantasy is fantasy, but, when you're getting into that betting space, you're going to have these big down days. I've had quite a few since we started the year. And then you have these big, giant days, and it's good to see. I'm glad you hit that 9-0 day, and I think this will be the start of something good for you.
Well, but more to the point, yesterday was about getting back to basics, right? Things aren't going well. What did I say yesterday? Get back to great players against bad teams and good teams against bad teams. And more often than not in baseball, you're going to hit at that 66 kind of percent rate. I mean, that's just the nature of the beast, right? The good teams are going to win 2/3 of the time. The bad teams are going to lose 2/3 of the time. So as long as you are picking and choosing, and again, it was a no-brainer yesterday. So very happy for Juan Soto. Very happy for that. Plus, also for those of you, we're going to do the whole thing for April, but I realize it can't really sort on Betting Pros for a week for our group. You can only do it by a month. So we're going to have to go to the monthly for prizes, but we're still going to do prizes. So I want everybody to go there again, bettingpros.com/leadingoff. Go join that bad boy. But let's get to some fantasy stuff here, non-Juan Soto related. Let's talk about guys that are so hot right now. Elly De La Cruz, 3 for 5, a double, not one. Not 2, but 3 steals. It was a beautiful day. Fun stuff on social media about Elly De La Cruz just kind of, making his own way. Gunnar Henderson, 3 for 3 with a homer, a double, 3 RBI in the Orioles win over the Angels. So 2 guys right now very hot. At Elly De La Cruz, man, how good is he?
Let's on both sides real quick. I mean, on the Gunnar side, you guys kind of know how I felt, not to be like obnoxious about it, but my very first trade video of the year was go buy Gunnar Henderson when he was hitting like 220.
You're right.
The hard hit numbers. And I said he could be a first round talent. I'm buying him right now, and he is performing at a first round talent. So I buy all of this. The Elly stuff is fascinating. I'm invested. If you guys remember, what was my favorite bet? We did it on the betting show. I said my favorite bet this year was Elly De La Cruz to lead the league in stolen bases. It was like 6 or 7 to 1, and he's doing that right now. But I have been absolutely consumed with this Elly stuff. Not even in that I am a trade person. We do a ton of that on this show and any show we do. We talk about moving and trading players. I'm kind of a hold guy. I don't do a lot of swinging, but we get a lot of you guys that do. So Elly has been at the prime point of this conversation. We actually had Steve Gardner on ITL yesterday, friend of the show here. And we were talking about this exact thing because I've obviously been obsessed with the incredible changes we're seeing out of Elly. His barrel percentage is up to 19% right now. It's 10.3 barrels per plate appearance. Crazy number, percentile, crazy number. His launch angle is up. His expected batting average is almost 270. These are all amazing numbers. His hard hit is up. The strikeouts have come down a little bit. So like I keep asking Joe, and I asked the question I asked you the other day to Steve, and I said, listen, Elly's down. His floor is looking a lot higher than it was before. And his ceiling, I don't think we quite have a true understanding of. And that's what's making him so great this year. And I asked him the question, okay, Corbin Carroll or Elly De La Cruz rest of season? And he said Elly. And you know what?
I agree.
I say Elly at this point, and I don't even know if this whole, like, should you trade him at the tippy top even makes sense at this point, because you have to get the highest of high value. And what I am excited about is the floor that he is creating, even knowing the swings are going to happen. He is the most electric player. And you know what? Good on anybody that has their investment. I have a couple shares. I wish I had more. And he is early on living up to these big things. Let's see when some adversity starts happening, because he still cannot hit breaking pitches. That's where he's going to get hit hard in May. But he is walking. That's going to lead to more stolen bases. I wish I could. Oh, that's
very exciting. That was pretty good. I also wonder in like 3 or 4 years from now, when he really fills out into his frame, how
I think he's ever going to fill out. I think this is the version.
I disagree. I disagree. I think there's a weight room version of Elly De La Cruz that we might see in a couple years. That could
have that chili. What's that Cincinnati chili that everybody talks about?
Skyline chili.
Skyline. Yeah. It's a great question. Put up Carlos Alberto's question. I want to do this. Well, he actually didn't put a question. He just made a statement. He's saying Gunnar Henderson is better. Who would you rather have rest of the season, Gunnar Henderson or Elly?
Gunnar has a high floor, but I think we've seen the ceiling already. I think that Gunnar Henderson probably will be more consistent than Elly. However, I think it's much closer than people realize. What do you think?
I think I'm gonna lean Gunnar, especially because then I get to lean into like me being right in that first video and stuff. But even outside the point, like he was hitting the ball really, really hard.
Well, the one thing I will say you were wrong about, and I will take you to test.
Oh yeah, I'm wrong about lots of stuff.
That O'Neal Cruz was a decent pivot. You know, we can get kind of the same player, but a couple rounds later, that's not the case.
Well, no, but I've always pushed. No, but I've always pushed back. Well, okay, I push back against this. I didn't think O'Neal Cruz was the replacement of Elly, because I thought Elly was going to be a more dominant base guy.
Pivot in value. That if you didn't get this guy, that you could
I guess, but,
a little bit longer.
But I have always thought that O'Neal Cruz is going to be a bigger homer guy, and Elly would be the big stolen base guy. But yeah, they're not in the same stratosphere. But here's the problem. Almost no one is in the same stratosphere as Elly De La Cruz right now. So for the people that like to sell, it's like, hey, do I maximize? I don't know if there's a way you can disagree that this is the ultimate peak moment of being able to maximize on Elly, but that's only if you believe he's going to come back down full throttle. I would say like Gunnar is probably my guy, because you do talk about the floor. I think he's going to score 100 runs again this year. The hard hit numbers, he's going to hit over 30, and I think he's probably going to chip in 15 to 20 stolen bases. We could just be chasing this downtick of Elly all year long, that he's going to come back down. If he doesn't, it's going to hit 30 homers and steal 75 bases, and he's going to be the number one player, which is going to be hilarious. We're going to be looking at him and Acuna, but I think he will come back down here at some point. And Gunnar will be the cream that rises to the top. Ooh, yeah. Is
Joe Ryan the best pitcher on the Minnesota Twins? Because he just allowed 3 runs, 8 strikeouts over 6 innings against the White Sox. So we'd be talking about Joe Ryan in the Cy Young race.
He's in the Cy Young race.
Maybe he's a guy we should watch for it. Just saying, we should watch. He's been very good.
I mean, yeah, he's the Joe Ryan. He's been very good. He's got a 3.5 ERA. He's got a 3.5 ERA, though. I might push back just a tiny bit on, but I think he has been the more consistent-ish of the guy. Pablo Lopez has been pretty good. Someone was talking about any concerns or sell high points on Pablo Lopez. I still think Pablo's the guy that, again, the cream rising to the top. I think that would be the guy that would pop up, but I just don't think, I haven't looked at the odds. I don't think Joe Ryan is in those odds right now. Would he?
Oh, he's in the odds. No, of course he is. He's definitely in the odds. I could pull what they are up, but like, I mean, I'm just saying it's one of these guys that I think is kind of floating under the radar right now, but
I think it's floating under the radar.
Yeah, I think the Twins are, if he continues to be very consistent, whereas there's peaks and valleys of other guys, Joe Ryan has been tremendous so far.
You know what would have been an interesting one? Like, he's plus 600 right now. Wonky just said, okay, that's pretty good.
Yeah. Okay. So there you go. That's not that far away.
That's not that far off. Okay. Hands up.
So Vegas and I see things the same way, which is, you should take a little look here. I understand that the ERA is at, a little bit on the higher side right now, 3.7, but in terms of so far 28 innings, just running through this, 38 strikeouts, 4 walks. That's very dominant.
3.4 walk percentage, which is the best of his career, and 32.8% K percentage.
What I'm saying is, if that trend of the walk and strikeout continues, Joe Ryan is going to pitch himself into a bigger conversation here, not just in fantasy, but also Cy Young. I don't disagree with that. I just wanted to say I'm so over Garrett Crochet
Like, I'm just done with it. I'm officially done after this last outing and everything like that.
Well, that was my
And
big sell guy a couple weeks ago.
you're right. And what's interesting about this is like 2 weeks ago, or even a week and a half ago, you probably could have sold a guy like Garrett Crochet for a guy like Joe Ryan, which, those are those opportunities to buy early on when guys get really hot. This is why we do talk about that whole like buy and sell thing.
Indeed. All right. Next up on the list, Tyler Anderson, Mr. Anderson. Another 5 innings, 2-run ball. He was floating around a lot of waiver wires for a long time. I think everyone just kind of saw the name and went, nah, okay. He had, though, 7 strikeouts yesterday. He is at a 1.78 ERA through 5 starts already. Are you buying what Tyler Anderson has been cooking so far this year?
Oh, that's a good sell. I think I'm buying the streamability of him. I don't know if I'm buying the probability that he's going to be really good the rest of the season. He does have an over 4 expected ERA, so it's over 2 runs higher. I'm looking at some of the matchups. I guess I don't want to downplay that he hasn't played like horrific teams, but I mean, Baltimore, he was actually really good at in this last one. But, he's had some Marlins, he's had some Rays in there, he's had some Reds. The strikeouts haven't been awesome. Maybe I'm downplaying a little bit, but I think he's going to median out. He's going to regress out. Ks are really low. It's an over 10% walk rate. I don't do like 10% walk rates, I guess, unless I make excuses for like Blake Snell's. But like, if you're going to have a 10% walk rate, you need to have like a 30% K percentage. So it's low strikeouts, high walks, bad expected numbers, and the second highest barrel percentage of his career. So he's gotten really lucky. So I would say this is a streamy guy for me, and I think it'll probably come to a head soon.
I would agree. It's definitely not going to stay at 178. By the way, correction, Joe Ryan is at plus 1,800, but that's still good for tied for 6th right now in terms of odds. So
that feels like the Joeist of Joe bets that could be betted, because Joe loves to bet something like this. And then when the odds move up to like plus 500 and he can buy out
like 20 on it now, then it gets to 900. I'll throw 50 on it. Like, that's how I play the futures.
And then when he's top 2 or 3, you can buy yourself out of it.
Top 2 or 3, you put 100, a couple hundred in there. And next thing you know, you've made $1,000. On $150 worth of bets, and that's my favorite kind of return.
I'd like $1,000.
That's what we did with Verlander a couple years ago on the show. So we did with Bryce Harper a couple years ago on the show. I mean, this is how you do it, folks. This is how you do it. All right, they're back. Randy Rosarena, 3rd home run of the season yesterday. Francisco Lindor, 4 for 5. So slow starts, starting to become distant memories. On a little closing time action, Hector Neris allowed 1 run. It got a little shaky there, but he did hang on for a second save. But Neris clearly looks like the guy. Also, Garrett Clevenger got his 2nd save of the season Wednesday night for the Rays. Your thoughts on Neris and Clevenger?
Well, Clevenger he's in that mix. The Rays are clearly going to like just move these guys in. Jason Adam, I think
that was the guy they chose yesterday.
Yeah, but I'll bet you the next save is going to go to Jason Adam, or then it'll go to Pache. Like, so it's just kind of a crapshoot with that. I have a lot of shares of Hector Neris in those deep 50 draft and holds, because this is a guy that has closing experience. I've never been completely sold on Alzolay, and the team isn't right now either. So Leiter is also going to get some opportunities, but as long as Neris can keep it less shaky, he's going to get some of those. And the Cubs have been, they're playing well, even though they're going to be without Bellinger. I know we're probably going to talk about here in a little bit.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. All right, let's get to some rookie lookies real quick here. Simeon Woods Richardson is going to start Thursday for the White Sox. The Cubs recalled Pete Crow Armstrong. We did ask Welsh about Simeon Woods Richardson yesterday, and Andy Pajes, 3 for 5 with a solo homer yesterday. So that's a good look on him. But that's not enough when it comes to rookies, because we like to talk a lot of rookies here. It's not just dynasty, it's redraft as well. So it's time for everybody's favorite segment. It's time for prospecting with the Welsh. We're going to take this pickaxe out of Welsh's head. We're going to go find us some gems in the ballpark area. And Welsh, of course, these guys are written up by you every single week at FantasyPros.com. And there's a great way to find all these guys, too, in all of your leagues. And that's to use the tools here, including My Playbook MLB. If you haven't already, download it or go to FantasyPros.com/MLB My Playbook and download the app as well. That way you have it wherever you are. You can manage all your teams and find some of these players and where they might be on your many rosters in many leagues as well. So Welsh, let's get after it. Let's talk about who you have first here for the prospecting segment.
Well, we're going to talk about 5 prospects to stash. My article covers 10, but we are going to dig into some of these guys and some important things to share. And I will tell you, from a week-to-week perspective, you're going to see similar-ish names. We had some graduations from that. Maybe the most important, or one graduation, was Heston Kjerstad, who we talked about even last week on this segment. He came up to the majors. A couple guys came off, but let's talk about the top guys. One that you guys all know is Paul Skenes. Paul Skenes leads the top of this list. And part of it is something I'm starting to pick out. I think I might have an idea when the debut is going to happen, and that's my sell here. So in his latest start, Paul Skenes went 4 1/3 of an inning, striking out 7. He walked 1, gave up his first run of the year, which is still absurd. I mean, the numbers, the swinging strike percentage, everything is crazy. But this is what I wanted to pull out with Paul Skenes. Ben Cherington was asked on Wednesday about Skenes and the pitch count that he's got. If he has a pitch count he needs to work to get to the majors. He was super kind of like dismissively snarky about it and this was his word. He goes, well, it's going to be higher than the 45 he threw 2 weeks ago. Okay, so there's the snarky comment and not wanting, and he also told the reporters, if we did have a pitch count he had to work to, I'm not going to tell you. It's super obnoxious about how they're treating it. So here is my thing about it. You know how great Skenes has been. The 3-pitch mix he's been dominating all minor leagues hitters with. We got to see him at the majors. So this start on April 24th, where he gave up his first run, went 4 1/3, 71 pitches. I think that's important because 2 starts from now, I think we're going to see him over 80. And I think after that, the timeline opens up. So the end of April goes to 75. The next start, right around May 5th, he goes to over 80. And then I think the timeline opens up between like May 10th and May 15th. I think we could see Paul Skenes in the majors finally reaching that marker that is over 45. So Paul Skenes, the prospect to stash, is coming soon. Joe, number 2 on this list, we actually talked about yesterday on Leading Off. It's James Wood. And I got very, very excited because Lane, I don't want to get excited about injuries, but Lane Thomas hit the IL, and this seemed like the perfect opportunity for James Wood to come up. They didn't. They brought up Trey Linscomb, who is kind of like an infielder in here. But I still think there's an opportunity that we could see James Wood soon, that this team could make an alteration and start bringing him up. Though I have received, different pieces here and there that the Nationals really are not pushing it. But so far with James Wood, he has hits in 5 of his last 6 games, including 2 multi-hit games. He's hitting .288 in April and still has a sub 25% K percentage. I know they don't want to push the limit, but I think we could see James Wood pretty soon. And that's why I'm putting him near the tippy top of the list. And I don't know what type of concern. Do you have any concerns with James Wood as far as this team holding him back because it's the Nationals?
No, I don't. I think the Nationals see how CJ Abrams has been playing, and I think they look at this collectively and saying, look, we've got to show the fan base something for all of these stars that we've had to move on from one reason or another in the last few years, and give the fan base something to look forward to. And Wood is certainly that thing. I think he is that centerpiece guy where you're looking, who is as great of a player as CJ Abrams might become. It feels like James Wood is the guy that could become the new face potentially of the franchise and that middle of the order bat. So I don't have any concerns about them being aggressive with him. I think it's going to be sooner than later. I think we're just being impatient, and it is only the 25th of April. And I said to you, look, somewhere between 50 and 100 at bats at AAA makes sense to me before you see Wood.
And one of the moves is and roster resource had Trey Lipscomb playing first so they could put Joey Gallo in the outfield. There's only so much I think you can put Joey Gallo and Eddie Rosario out there. By the way, I believe Joey Gallo has 37 strikeouts to 1 single on the year.
There's only so many times you could put Joey Gallo out on the field, period.
Exactly. So I think that could move. All right. So those 2, I think, in the real world of stashing make the most sense right now. Plus, there's 1 or 2 others on the article you can check out. But 3 others I want to burn through to tell you about as far as who you should stash. Kyle Manzardo, we mentioned yesterday. He's been on a little hot streak as April's ending. He has homers in 3 straight games from April 22nd to April 24th. He actually hit 4 in that period of time. And he's had hits in 4 straight games. His average is up over 300 while putting up a double-digit walk rate, 14.3%. By the way, he's got a sub 20% K percentage. That is like a classic Guardians type of player. It's going to be harder to make it fit because they've got Josh Naylor, but I do think we're very close to them going between DH and first to get Manzardo's bat in that lineup. Though, again, they have been scoring a bunch of runs. Number 4, Orelvis Martinez. So this one, I got a mind-boggling thing for you. Check this out. Going into April 24th, which was yesterday, Orelvis Martinez with the Toronto Blue Jays had a hit in every single game he played in April, every single game, he has come a super long way. He's currently hitting over 330, where he had never hit over 275 in a single season in the minors. In the last 2 years, he had never hit over 245. He's the chase has always been a big issue, but he's had monster power. He is barreling the ball better. But the team just made a move where they brought up Addison Barger, and they didn't put him in the infield, which is a guy who can play the infield. They put him in the outfield. So I think we are close to them giving up on the Kevin Biggio stuff, letting Martinez play in the infield, and then Biggio can go back out to the outfield. He has been on an insane streak right now, so be on the lookout for him. And then finally, the other one I'm going to tell you about, we're going to the Milwaukee Brewers with Tyler Black. Since April 16th, Black has 3 homers, 2 stolen bases, and 3 multi-hit games. He's sporting a 329, 430, 539. That's a 345 slash with an incredibly impressive, 12% K percentage, 14% walk percentage. He's getting the ball in the air. He's lowered his ground ball rate. The problem we have and why he is not a guy that you put immediately on is they've got Terang and they've got Joey Ortiz, who are both playing solid ball right now. But this might be a guy that you get on your roster and you put him across the field. Milwaukee is scoring a bunch of runs, which also doesn't make this a big necessity because he's kind of a down-ish defender, but he is on a crazy streak right now and shows incredible floor. He is on the top 10 of the prospect stash list. I don't know when it happens, but you can read more about it and find out the things that make him great and why he is going to be close when the Brewers are ready to pull it. Those are 5 prospects to stash, but there are more on the article over on Fantasy Pros, so check it out. Plus, some even deeper names that you can check out when you're prospecting with the Welsh, Joey.
Everybody loves some prospecting with the Welsh. It's a good old-fashioned time. So make sure you join us here on Fantasy Pros MLB. Subscribe to the channel for more videos like this and leading off every Monday through Friday. All right, Welsh, let's get after it and let's talk about some of the other things going on, the ups and the downs in Major League Baseball. Alec Boehm, 4 for 4. He's up 2 ribbies and a walk yesterday. Evan Carter, since I put him on the down list, I felt obligated.
You cut him yesterday. You cut him yesterday.
I'll cut him today. I don't care. I'm not an Evan Carter guy. Maybe I'll be wrong. I don't. Wyatt Langford all day. Evan Carter, I go like this. I'm like, okay, it's fine. I just don't know.
I like that you use air quotes when you talk. You're like, I'm not a Evan Carter
guy. I don't
I don't bathe regularly.
I'm not what you call spick and span in the genital area. I'm not that was such a funny bit. And then the best part of that Farley bit is when they tried to lift him up on, like, they had the rigging underneath him and they tried to lift him up as the air quotes were floating him away.
Did you know
that he got caught on the sign?
Oh my God. Yeah, I know.
For the news. And then he's like, oh, I can't, like, I've got a weight problem.
Did you know that they're doing a biopic on him?
Nothing can do it justice. I hope it's good, but like,
I just don't think any actor can do, like, I'm not going to be able to like fall into any actor being Chris Farley. I don't think it's going to work.
Farley was amazing. The documentaries on him have been great, but Evan Carter was great. Home run, triple, 2 for 4. I'm still want Wyatt Langford, who also made the list, 3 for 3 with a run scored. Let's go, Wyatt Langford. 3 down. Sorry, but we got to put Corbin Carroll on this list. 0 for 3 again. So much for the 7 spot. Spencer Arrighetti, 4 runs and 3 2/3, and Garrett Crochet, 5 runs, 6 strikeouts over 4 innings in a loss to the Twinkies. So no bueno there, unfortunately. But the good news is we're giving away free stuff. The Trophy Smack Fantasy Baseball Championship belt can be yours when you subscribe to Fantasy Pros MLB. Yeah. And comment below on any video. Again, this is from our good pals over at Trophy Smack. It's an amazing looking championship belt for you, for your friends, for the league winner, whatever you want to do. You
2 easy
walk
steps.
around the grocery store.
Subscribe, comment, eligible.
2 steps. That's all you need. That's what you need. All right, let's get to some injuries. Max Scherzer was not the best rehab start, but again, who cares? He's out there. He's throwing the ball. 3 runs, 5 hits over 2 1/3, excuse me. Red Sox put Brian Bello on the IL with right lat tightness. So everyone's got lat issues. The Nats put Lane Thomas, as Welsh mentioned earlier, 10-day IL with the sprained MCL. So that's going to be a few weeks. Then we've got the Giants putting Blake Snell on the 15-day IL with the abductor strain. Cody Bellinger on the IL with a rib fracture. So that's going to be a while. Zach Geloff, guess what? It's an oblique. Yay. We can't have a show without somebody hurt an oblique. Every single day, somebody's on the IL with an oblique issue. It's hilarious.
I want to
More-
do like a shirt that's like, it starts with oblique, but then we turn it into like, you know what you would use for curse words to like
Yeah.
make it go away. And we just need to have like an oblique shirt that has like starts to be bleeped out.
Oblique D's nuts.
Obliqued. Yeah.
Oh, oblique. Yeah, there you go. It makes me think of derelict with Zoolander. That's what it makes, you know.
Oh,
can
show
derelict
everybody
my-
your blue steel.
Blue steel.
Yeah.
I invented blue steel.
You,
I have
you
resting
are
blue
blue
steel.
steel. You are.
I have
blue
resting
steel.
blue steel before
You know
Zoolander was around.
While you're working out, oh, there it is. Okay, I want everyone to know. I'm going to give you the greatest sale piece why you should buy the Fantasy Black Book football edition or baseball. You should buy the baseball edition now just to re-support. I was in it, and Joe will know I'm important. But you get a picture. You get the blue steel version picture in the book of Joe Pisapia in every edition. It's worth the price alone to have
Just
that.
my face. I
Yeah,
can't help
and then
it.
you see Joe and you get it autographed or something. Blue
There you
steel
go.
all day.
Nolan Jones was out of the Rockies lineup again with the back issue. Yohan Duran is going to make one more rehab appearance on Friday, so maybe we'll see him on Monday or over the weekend. We shall see. Framber Valdez, good news for him. 40 pitches in the bullpen. That went well, so perhaps over the weekend we could see him back. And then the Marlins manager Skip Schumacher told reporters that AJ Puck will work in the team's bullpen when he returns from the injured list. And this is the best point for me to use injured list here on this one, because if there ever was an air quote for injured list, it was this one for Puck.
Really? He's going to go to the bullpen? I
know,
never would have
shocking.
guessed.
I know. Who'd have thought? Unbelievable.
Me.
Well,
Me.
there you go. So it was a good day yesterday. We'd like to keep the good times rolling here on the show. So it's time for Thursday's best bets
Of the day.
with Joey P and the Welsh. Don't forget, everybody, place your bets over at bet365. Bet $5, get 150 in bonus bets when you use that promo code leading off. Again, that's one word, leading off. Bet365, the home for all your betting needs. All right, let's get after it, Welsh. Again, good day yesterday. Ooh, we love the Juan Soto betting.
How do you keep it going? How do you keep it going? A great day. Confidence is high. Repeat, confidence is high.
You stick to what you know. I'm looking for some low numbers that I can go over on and some high numbers I can go under on. There was only one high number that I thought about. It was the Wheeler number, but I decided to just pass on that. Just too much volatility there because he could strike out 1 million Reds today, or he could just strike out 5. So I don't want to do that. Instead, I'm going to look to Luis Castillo over 5.5 Ks plus 108. Corey Seager had some issues, so we'll see what the lineup looks like today. But I think Castillo can go over this and get me 6 here in this. That's all I need him to do. Cole Reagan's one bad outing. Boy, oh boy, Welsh. Everyone's sour. Even Vegas is sour. 5.5 strikeouts for Cole Reagan's. I'm going over this bad boy today. Let's go.
It's a good matchup. It's a good matchup for a team that doesn't strike out. They're less than 20% of the time, Toronto.
All right. I am in on this one. I'm going back to the Cole Reagan's well here. I could be wrong. Maybe it's the 9-0 going to my head from yesterday. But I am going back here once again. Shohei Ohtani over 0.5 on the RBI. You're getting plus money on this, plus 130. I mean, with the way Mookie Betts is getting on base, like Shohei Ohtani is just easy work for him. But what's most exciting to me is the parlay of the day today. Same game parlay. Give me Luis Castillo over 5.5 Ks at plus 108. Give me the Mariners on the money line at minus 120 and Mitch Haniger to record a hit. Now it's heavy juice. It's minus 210, but that's because he owns Andrew Heaney. 3 homers in his career, hitting 364 and 22 at-bats with a 1,300 OPS. Spoiler alert, more on Mitch Haniger to come later in the program. But if you put Haniger to get a hit, just a simple thing, the over on the Castillo strikeouts and the Mariners to get a W, you get plus 298. That's almost 3-1. That's my parlay of the day. Let's go, M's. Welsh, what do you have for the people?
I like that. I actually might play that. I might get in on that action. Well, my play of the day, which is also on the socials if you want to see it, my turn in the later parts of the week where Joe does the early parts. I'm going to that Seattle game, and I'm taking Seattle on the money line through the first 5 innings. That is minus 115. So it is, if they are up by a run through the first 5, I win. If they are tied, I don't win, but I don't lose because it just pushes. Luis Castillo on the mound is the big reason. He's got a 4.5 ERA, but around a 2.7 Sierra right now. I was a little hopeful that Corey Seager wasn't going to be in the lineup, and I even mentioned that in my social. He is going to play. That doesn't change a whole bunch. Over the last 3 games, you've seen Texas scoring around 2 runs through the first 5, while Seattle is up over 3. The main point of this is attaching myself to Luis Castillo, who did not give up a run in his last start. He's only given up 2 over the last 2. He is striking out a bunch. This is just a good spot. So I love Seattle on the money line. Minus 115. Best odds I've seen out there with Bet365. So there you go. Even more reason. Number 2, going to Philly, and I'm taking another first 5. I'm actually first 5'd out. I didn't even realize that. I'm first 5'd out today, and I am taking them to be up by a run through the first 5 with Zach Wheeler. That was the only way I could play it. I'd love to play the money line, but it was too juiced up. So if this is through the first 5 innings, Philly is going to be up by 1 run. Odds are pretty good as well. You can find that over on Bet365. And I'm doing a first 5 parlay where I'm going under runs. I am pairing Toronto and Kansas City, so Barrios and Reagans, to score less than 4.5 runs to the first 5. And I'm pairing that with Chicago and Houston. Javier Assad has been pretty good, and Justin Verlander back on for them to go under 4.5. That pays me almost plus 150, plus 146. That is my parlay. And I will say one last little addition. I do like your strikeouts. But something that has been a good benefit is I have taken your targeted strikeouts and I alt them down by 1. So I did parlay. It's not official bet, but I parlayed Reagans and Castillo both to have 5 strikeouts. And I got I think it was right around even money. And I bet a little bit more on that. So Reagans and Castillo to both have 5 strikeouts, comboed those together. That was another play I had. So let's go get it on our plays of the day.
That's it. Those are the best bets of the day. Make sure you subscribe to Fantasy Pros MLB and download the Betting Pros app right now so you can start betting smarter, not harder. And Welsh, it's time to turn our attention to the home run board. Are you ready for the home run board? Because I haven't moved. Well, I moved a little bit. I did get one yesterday, but I'm still on the left side. You're getting closer, but so I moved up to 9. But look, Waking Life and Sir Sis are up to 11, so I'm still 2 behind them. 6th on the board, but that's okay. As long as I'm on the board, that's all I care about. And today, because I'm tired of everybody, Joe takes too many guys that are big superstar guys. You take guys that are superstars. Well, I'm going to take a superstar today, and his name is Mitch Haniger. That's right. That's my home run call today. So, that's what I got for you. I got 2 words for you. If you I can
Mitch
take
Haniger.
whoever I want. Yeah, Mitch Haniger.
Yeah, people are all over Joe, hey, Joe, good pick of Soto or blah, blah, blah.
Way to go. Way to pick Soto. Way to go out there on a limb. I'm sorry.
Hey, well, Joe's in the top 8. I'm not.
Did he hit a home run? Could you have made money on it yesterday? Did you make money on it yesterday? That's what I'm talking about. Well, how about you, my friend?
Do you like to bet homers? Are you a homer bet guy? I don't do a lot
I
of
am
that.
not very often, but yesterday I did. And I'm glad I did, because some days when I feel really like the Harper day, I didn't have that. And I was mad when he hit the 3 because that just makes you angry.
My play, I think I mentioned this before. My play always is if I really like someone on the homer, I like to play their total base, and I'll play their 1.5 total base over outside of playing homers. But you get better odds. You get 6 or better odds if you play
even
the
0.5 the RBI one is a great one because you're getting plus money most of the time with these bigger names like Ohtani today we just talked about. But the funny thing is, to me, lest we forget, Bryce Harper was stone cold the day that I picked him, and he had 3 home runs. So let's not pretend like everything's just sunshine and roses all the time. All right. So, Welsh, what do you have here for the people? As I am going to be Mitch Haniger confident today.
I'm going to take a big name. So screw it. I don't care what any of you say. I'm going to go with Tatis because I can't get on the board. I'm going to go with Fernando Tatis Jr. Dakota Hudson has got a 1.9 home run per 9. So I'm just picking on somebody in that offense. Give me an extra bat potential with Fernando Tatis. So that is going to be my play as I just desperately am trying to get on that board. I was hanging on that board all year last year, but Joe has been Mr. Home Run. I have not.
Well, Fred Dinger nailed it too. A lot of drafts going on because today is the NFL draft, and our regular Fantasy Pros channel will be on there live 7 p.m. Eastern. We'll be there all night, Thor, myself, and the whole gang. And then Friday, we'll be back to do it all again at 6 p.m. Eastern. So a lot of fun things are happening there for the draft, but it's also the WWE draft this week too.
What is that?
Well, it's the SmackDown and Raw rosters going, back and forth with the different people. So in terms of, I know it's a baseball show, but it is the NFL draft is a huge deal. Your 49ers, what are you hoping they come away with today?
Always a wide receiver. Bogman knows this about me. He'll give them offensive linemen. There's a lot of Brandon Ayuk rumors, so I am hoping to get a wide receiver in the first round, and then also
is there one in particular you want?
I mean,
promise.
Xavier Worthy's pretty
Xavier Worthy?
interesting. I kind of like him, but also I would love, this is the thing I want, but it won't happen until another day, is I want the 49ers to take Luke McCaffrey out of Rice, who is Christian McCaffrey's brother, because he's also really good, and I want all the McCaffrey. So those are the things I'm looking for. Give me offensive players for my Niners. That's what I always want.
Mike Mayer in the chat, you don't win the bet 3 times just because Harper hits 3 home runs, Joe. I know, but it would have made me feel good about it because I know I would have had it in lock every single time he came up to the plate.
Negativity.
So negative. Positivity. Spread the positivity. And how could he have never heard of the WWE draft? The thing's been going on for 20 years. They've been doing this. They've been doing this for 20 years.
I feel like I heard of it, but I don't like the concept, to be honest with you. They just let the entire roster get like redrafted.
Well,
that's kind of stupid.
Yeah. Well, but it's good because you shake things up. You get people on different shows. You get different storylines and different things. It's good. It's good. It's a good thing to do. It's fun. You're catching up with the NFL draft. You're just kind of being in there. We should have had a draft. Maybe tomorrow we'll figure.
Probably as scripted as the actual NFL draft too. So.
Oh, there you go. Here we go. Here we go. All I hope is that my Patriots don't trade out of the 3 spot. Just take a quarterback and just stop. No more trading out. It's a new day.
Are you making bets on the NFL draft? Because, people can go and follow us, bettingpros.com. If you download the app, you not only see these baseball bets, but you can see some NFL draft bets.
And join the leading off group too while you're at it. Again, bettingpros.com/leading off. We're going to do monthly swag because that's the best way. But we're going to be doing something in April. So this is your chance. You got a couple days left in April if you're already in the group to kind of get that ROI up a little bit. That's it. That's all the baseball for today. So go enjoy the day games. And then tonight, the NFL draft. And tomorrow we'll be back for more baseball here on a fun Friday on the program. That'll do it for us. But the story of the game goes on. For the Welsh, I'm Joey P. We'll see you next time, kids.
Peace.